I am really struggling to not lose my... How's it going, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. It's been a while since I picked up the camera, so this does feel a little bit weird for me, but let's explain what we're going to do and I will show you how we're going to do it. Here is a box that the top mount kit's come in, and you've got the top mount itself, and there's a new plastic clip, and then that's the bearing in there, and obviously that sits on top of that, which sits on top of the strut. So I just thought I'd put these tools down so you can actually see what it is you're going to need. So we've got a 19mm spanner and a 19mm socket, 18mm spanner and an 18mm socket, and then obviously a ratchet for said sockets. And then these are the tools that I've used to get the black top clip off the top of the strut. Use that just to try and open it up a little bit, and then these to pry it off, but I will show that a bit more in a bit. You need to undo these two bolts, and they're 18mm on both sides. And here we have the drop link. You only need to take the top one off. You don't need to take the bottom one off unless you're going to be replacing it, but we're not. So when you're taking these off, as you can see, there's a bit of a 5mm wedged in there. So yeah, don't do that. What you need to do is put a 19mm spanner behind there, sort of like in there, so between where this metal piece is here and the rubber bush, you'll get a 19mm in there, and then on there it's a 19mm as well. So that's what I meant by getting it behind. It's locked in there, so 19mm on the front, 19mm on the back, and a bit of force. Hopefully. Oh. So yeah, that's basically what you need to do. Get that undone, and then we'll get these two 18mm off down here. Also guys, little tip for you, keep the lower control arm jacked up with either jack or a bit of wood, whichever, but just keep some tension on the bottom, because it will make undoing all these bolts a lot easier, because they won't be holding the stress of all of this. So I've tried to get a bit of light in the situation for you, but as you can see there, it's just a 18mm spanner, sorry, on that side, and because undoing it, it's going to be coming, the force is going to be coming downwards. I'm resting this on top of the brake disc, which helped me, obviously, when this is on here and you're undoing it, this is pressing against the brake disc, so you know, it just helps with the tension. So we'll get this one off, get the one off just below it, you can see there, get these couple of bits out of the way, and then we'll be ready to go on the top and sort the bit out in the engine bay. A good one for you guys, I've just realised I didn't say, but if you've got a bolt which is obviously really stuck, if you get it to a point where you can get something on the end of it, and here I've got a long bar, an old scaffold bar, put that over there and put some tension on it, and it comes off a hell of a lot easier. There we go. Although that spanner's just fell off, that should make that turning a hell of a lot easier. So there's a little tip for you, another one. Now we've got those bolts undone, and basically with these, what we need to do is get a screwdriver down into there, prise it off, and then I used another screwdriver on this side whilst I was prying this off, because otherwise, as you prise that side off, this side stands a chance of going back together. So once you've got that undone, they just pull out like that, and under here is basically, this is all that holds this on, and in there you've got your top nut. So let's get the strut out and we'll see if we can get that nut off. So once you've got your strut out, you don't want to leave this just hanging and stuff, because it can put unnecessary stress on other components. So I've just rested mine on a block of wood, and it stops it from hanging all the way down there. It's similar when you take your brake calipers off, you don't want to leave them hanging for the same reason. So anyway, now that we've got the strut off, we've got to try and take this off. Now you can get a certain socket which goes in there, and you can sort of slide an Allen key through it, but the one that I have doesn't fit. Let me grab it. This is a 21mm, and you need a 22mm for that nut. So the 20, if this was the correct size, that would slide over there. You would put your Allen key down through there so that it went into the middle in there, and then obviously with that you'd hold with some mole grips or something, hold the end of the Allen key head, and then you could turn this with a spanner, or alternatively if you've got an impact gun, I'm pretty sure that would whiz that off straight away. Anyway, I don't, so this is what I'm having to do. I also don't have a 22mm, so I've had to improvise, and I'll show you just in a sec what it is I'm going to use. I'm just going to grab it, and then we're going to squirt some penetrative fluid into there to try and help ourselves. Right, so spray some of this down there. Oh, I'm running out. Brilliant. So anyway, we'll squirt some of that down there, and here is what I've got. This is a lambda sensor socket, which happens to be a 22mm. So basically that's going to go in there. We're going to put the Allen key in there, and then try and turn this and hope that we can do it. I am really struggling to not lose my shit. Let me show you what's happened. We've run into a problem. Obviously, same sort of deal as when you're taking bolts off under there. Taking a bolt off, you need to take the tension off. So that's what the spring compressors are for. However, if you look in there, you can see a half snapped Allen key. So this originally had a ball joint on the end of it, and that's now stuck in there. I'm not too sure what I'm going to do here, guys. If I figure something out, if I manage to sort it, or when I manage to sort it, should I say, I'll pick the camera back up. So I've put it all back together. All that side is back together, and I've already cracked this off. We're at the same point now that we were with the passenger side. This one, whilst it was still in situ, I held that like that and then turned the spanner and managed to crack it. So now that means I can take that off, put that down into the hole where it needs to go, turn that whilst holding that, and that nut is actually coming off. There we have it, guys. That is the old one, obviously, and the new one. So basically that's the bit that we were seeing sticking through the top, and the bearing basically sits in there like that, spins around. Now putting this one on there and that one on there, that one actually feels a bit more free. Maybe it just needs to bed in, I'm not sure, but let's just hope this sorts the problem, because it's been a pain in the backside so far. So there we go, top mount and new bearing are in. Nut in the top is done up. So basically all it is now is the reversal of removal. Yesterday I was just rushed off my feet, so by the time I'd finished putting it all back together I didn't have time to film anything, but happy to report everything's done up now, everything's back on the ground, and I have actually done probably 10-15 miles since putting everything back together, so all happy, everything seems okay. However, it hasn't got rid of my problem. It's still doing this. I'm going to try the anti-roll bar bushes next. If that doesn't stop it, then I'm probably looking at a steering rack maybe. What do you guys think? I'll play it again. So what do you think that could be? I thought it would be lower arms, change the lower arms. I thought it might be top mounts, change the top mounts. It's neither. So somewhere, and it's mainly from the driver's side, so a bit of context for it. As I accelerate and turn to the left, it creaks. Going to the right, not that I've heard. And then when I'm decelerating, so if I'm coming round a corner where I pick the missus up from work, you come down, take a left hand, and it's kind of sloping downwards, and obviously I'm braking, it does it then as well. So I'm not too sure. Again, it is only mainly focused on the driver's side as far as I can tell, but yeah, it is there. I don't know what's causing it, but I'll keep hunting for the problem. Like I say, if you guys have got any ideas, please chime in the comments. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.